Hey, good evening, everybody. Larry Marcus coming to you from Melville, New York, and I think we've got an amazing Hangout session tied up tonight for you. It is just after 9 on November 7th, and of course this is being recorded. It'll be in your back office by tomorrow. It'll be up on this page for a while, probably for the whole week. But we're glad that you made it to be with us. We've got tons of exciting things, tons of announcements to come, and I've got a couple of people to help me tonight and tell you about some of the things going on in their business. First and foremost, one of our #1 guys out there from Aspen, Colorado, Shayne Macfarland. Say hi, Shayne.
Hey, everybody. How's it going tonight?
I'm just going to make sure I got volume on something turned down here, and there we go. And then, of course, coming into us from... bring this back up. Coming into us from Athens, Alabama. I mean, Shayne, Athens, Alabama. Can people in Athens, Alabama do this? Especially young guys, okay? Here we've got a guy back from being at the leadership event with us as well, Chris Mitchell. Say hi, Chris.
Hey, guys.
So it is working. Oh, and I'm just checking. We are on the air and live for sure. We're good. So we got a lot to talk to you about tonight. First off, we may have another person joining us. We actually had a young lady coming on board with us tonight, Karina Negron from Miami, Florida. She's in the business about 2 weeks, and she sponsored a ton of people. She's a college student. She works, and she's looking at Xplocial as her thing. If she comes on, we'll know who she is. I think Tom Westrick's helping her try and set up her Google Plus right now because she just got home from college or working or something. If not, we'll get her on maybe next Thursday. She is an exciting girl that some of you want to meet. In fact, she's only one of so many people that right now are joining. We've got a new momentum, a fresh new momentum. Many of you know that, just recently, before our leadership event, out came those MLM rankings, and we were ranked, Xplocial was ranked #1 in popularity with over a 1,500% increase in popularity during that period. And that is something that, quite honestly, every one of our leaders and all of you are responsible for, and we're so excited, about that. And that and the new product we're introducing has spurred some amazing momentum. Our numbers are up, our sponsoring numbers are up, people everywhere are getting excited. Every day, people are coming back. People who maybe didn't think Xplocial was fitting quite for them or weren't doing it. Shayne, you're having that experience, right? People wanting to come back?
Absolutely. It's been nice because I reach out to people and I tell them, what's been going on, and they've actually looked other places and come back. And in just this past week, I think I've had 2.
Wow. And I know Tom's had a bunch, Steph's had a bunch. We've had them all over the company, all over the company. I hope that most of you have been catching up on our Hangouts, on our Monday webinars, because we've been highlighting up until today some of the events that happened at our leadership event, which ran from October 24th through the 27th here in New York. Both Shayne and Chris were here with us along with about 28 other leaders, and we had an amazing time. We've been showing pictures. If you haven't seen that or heard about it or seen some of the things that we did there, just go to your back office under Training and Recorded Calls in the menu and go to the bottom of the page. You'll see Google Hangouts, and the last couple of Hangouts we did, the Halloween Hangout, the one before it, I think, we've got some pictures on there and a lot of great information that we talked about at the leadership event. Now, we haven't introduced it to you yet, this new product. I'm going to tell you when we're going to do that, how we're going to do that, and you want to hang in there. And I've got a story when we're all done talking here with Shayne and Chris, and we're not going to have a long call tonight. I got a story I just got to tell you. It's a little story, and I'm going to set you thinking. I got this. A box showed up today at our house, UPS, and it was a light box. And I looked at the return address, and I didn't know who it was from. And I always get a little leery, and I get this amateur-looking sealed-up box. You don't know who it's from. We get exposed to a lot of people in this business, right, in this profession. So I'm opening it up carefully, and then I took this out and read the note that was with it that I'll share with you, and I realized what it was. But this is just a homemade napkin holder. And I will tell you, it's probably the very best gift that Bonnie and I have ever received. If you want to hear about that, and I know you do, make sure you're hanging with us till the end, because I'm going to tell you the rest of that story. In the meantime, before we do that, how's that for marketing, Shayne? Is that all right? Is that good?
I love it. I love it.
Right? So here we are. We're all network marketers. Some of us brand new to network and internet marketing. Some of us have been around a while. Some of us have made money. Some of us have not made money. Some of us has been temporary successes, one-time successes. Some of us on this call have been haven't had success yet, and we're going to change that. We're changing that for so many people in Xplocial, and we're going to change it bigger, better, and more than ever as we add this new product we're going to talk to you about in as we go. What I'd like to do is go over to Chris Mitchell for a couple of minutes. Chris, first off, you just give everybody a little bit of your story. You joined the business. Tell everybody what happened your first month, what your life was like, what changed. Give everybody a little of that history.
Well, first of all, I'm 26 years old. I actually went to school to be a machinist. I went to trade school, went to college, spent several years in the machinist trade, and actually was looking for a way to somehow get away from my job. So I got into network marketing about 3 years ago. I had some success with some of the companies that I did in the past, but it was just like a little pocket change. It was never enough money to quit my job. And then I came across Xplocial about 4 months ago, and I actually quit my job literally 2 or 3 days after I joined Xplocial. I didn't quit because I had already been making a lot of money with Xplocial. I had just joined. I hadn't even started promoting it yet. I quit out of stress because my boss literally stressed me out that bad. I couldn't stand it anymore. So I quit, and I was able to actually replace my income with Xplocial. I gave myself 2 weeks. I said, I'm gonna do this for 2 weeks, and if I can see a positive trend upward in my business and see some positive results, then I'll keep going forward with this and do it full time. But if not, I guess I'll have to go back to a 9 to 5. And it really just took off. I had my major breakthrough with Xplocial, and it's just I actually got more sales in a week with Xplocial than I was ever able to get in a month from anything else that I did in the past. So it's really been a blessing. It's not only changed my income, it's actually completely transformed my life. I've been thinking more about my future, my goals, what I really truly want in life. Like Larry literally made me realize, what am I living for? What am I here to do? What do I have? What am I passionate about? What is my why? Why do I want to make more money? Why do I want more time? And it just really made me think about my future. And ever since I came back from the leadership conference, I've even had a better mindset. It's just like I made a vision board about what I want in my life. It's got everything on there. I look at it every day. I'm constantly visualizing what I want and taking consistent action, pushing myself, stretching myself further to actually get the best results I can get for my team, not just for me, but the duplication of my team, and teaching them how to go out there and duplicate exactly what I did.
Super. So do you feel like you're getting that By the way, Chris, how old are you?
I'm 26.
Hey, Shayne, we're about ready to just turn it in. We got all the young guys to do this now.
Well, that's what I was thinking. And then I was also thinking, Larry, how old were you when you started?
I was 23.
23. So you're right around that same age.
Yeah. And we got a host of other guys that were at the leadership conference with us, right? Joe Dickinson. In fact, speaking of age and Joe Dickinson, everybody say happy birthday, Joe. November 7th, Joe D's birthday. So happy birthday to Joe Dickinson. He's like an old 23 years old now, I think, if I'm right. So, here he is. He's started a couple of years back in network marketing. He was ahead of me in my age, I wasn't 26. I was 26 before I earned a six-figure income. Back then, and I think all of these young guys are going to do it way before that, some of these younger guys, But, Chris, you've had some duplication recently, right? So a lot of it since coming back from the networking conference, right? Talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. I don't know, there's two different types of marketing. There's internet marketing and there's network marketing, and I had more of a mindset of an internet marketer before, and I did get some really good results with that, seeing how I had been driving traffic, for years, but what really, the duplication just wasn't there, So when I came back from the networking event, I realized that Larry, he said to get back to the basics of just using what is in the back office. The memory jogger to create your list. You have to have a list to work off of. The scripts that get people to the video, And I learned not to say too much, not to, just tell, just say what I think people want to hear. Use what is there. Use what is proven to work for people who, might not ever have the technical experience of driving traffic and lead generation and all that stuff. So since I came back, I've started implementing what Larry says, using the 3-step formula that's already there. And I've noticed a major difference in my duplication. People are getting it now. It's clicking. It's simple. It's easy to follow. And I just actually got a pass up yesterday from somebody in my team. Her name's Tiffany Torrey. She lives out in California, and I actually got a pass up from her. It was a guy located in Alabama, in my home, my state. He actually lives about three or 4 hours away from me, and we're actually going to meet up tomorrow at about 30 minutes away from here. And talk about his future and actually going offline with this stuff and building relationships, taking over this this area and starting a revolution. People that really want to change their life and really want more out of life.
Wow, Shayne, that sounds a lot like the weekend you went to, right?
Absolutely does.
I'm going to get to that in a minute, Shayne. Before we do that, I don't want to forget, and it's important for the two of you guys as well as other people. We're going to put this in a newsletter, but we now have many, many meetings going on all over the country. Down south, Ray Alessio, I think all through the week, one of our leaders is holding meetings all through. He's got a regularly scheduled meeting in Miami and now a couple of other places in Florida. I know Chris is looking to get some meetings going, Shayne, and a lot of other people, right? So we want to make sure that we get these publicized just in case people have prospects in those areas, because you can count on our leaders to do the right thing. They're not going to sponsor people around you. You just call them and let them know that you're sending somebody to the meeting, and they'll honor that, that fact that that's you. Now, that's kind of interesting because you'd like to think, why would Tom call me during the middle of the Hangout, right? But I guess he's having. Let me do this. Let's see. Let's hold on a second. Maybe he's trying to get the link, right? And if he is, that would be kind of cool because he'll get to help us get on. But it's not the case. All right. So anyway. What we're going to do is we're going to publish a list with phone numbers of the leader in the area who's running the meeting, okay? So what I need you to do, I think Tom's going to Skype me now. What I need you to do, if you're running a meeting, and we're going to be careful, if you're brand new and you're running a meeting, we're not going to be able to put this on a national or international list, okay, until we see what kind of presentation you do. So we're going to need to see presentations from people. We're going to ask new people to actually record their presentation and send it on in so we can see it, all right? Good idea even for some of our junior leaders, so we can kind of help them through anything they do. Of course, if all you're doing is doing what I do, by the way, showing the video and then answering questions from there. And by the way, if you think that, no, I want to do a presentation, I'm sure Larry does that. I did a home meeting, folks, Saturday night. Saturday night, there was a meeting for somebody in our hard of hearing and deaf group with his whole family and some friends. Had about 20 people in Uniondale, New York. I live 25 minutes from there, and this was down under Tom Westrick, and Tom's like, come on, can't you go over there? It's only 25 minutes away. It's Saturday, right? So you know what? I took unplugged my laptop that had the presentation on it, took a cable with me, found out he had a new TV to plug into. Took me a minute. We got there. I plugged into my laptop, gave him the plug. He plugged it into the back of the TV. We played the video, and then I was about another 20 minutes there. Bonnie and I were there like we were brand new affiliates showing the business, okay? And I want to tell you something. It felt really good. It was Bonnie's first home meeting in network marketing. She had never been to a network marketing home meeting. She's never really been involved in network marketing, right, until me. So here we were. Should we put like Tom on this Hangout now? Let's do that, okay? All right, so Tom, you're on the Hangout on the phone with me. What's up? Okay, I think he's dialing the wrong number. All right, so here's what happened. We go to this home meeting, right? We hook it up. We're all ready. 16 to 20 people, something like that, all crowded into this living room. And the guy who was doing this, Leland, I believe his first name was, without looking back, right? What an amazing guy, young guy, hard of hearing, but he can talk, and he talks loud, I think, generally because he's hard of hearing. And he kind of introduced me and talked about how this business was already changing his life and how he could do it for his entire family. He wasn't interested in the doctor, the dentist, the candlestick maker, the shoemaker. He had his family and close friends in the room, and he said, this is our way out together. This is what he told this crowd. I didn't coach him. He said, you know how we get a bill every month, and then we got no money, and we think we're going to have money, and the next bill comes in, and we're working for the man every day. He says, you know what? We're going to get out of this. This is our way out. And I'm just sitting there like beaming, right, about this guy being up there. And then I answer some, we played the video. I answered some questions. Tom calls me up an hour later. I was already home, an hour after I left, and he says, hey, I think I want to thank you. I said, why is that? He says, I just got 2 pass-ups under Leland's group. He says, they're from the meeting you did, right? Platinum pass-ups, right? So, I don't know, are meetings worthwhile? It gave Tom, it increased Tom's income about $250 a month, right? And there's more coming from that meeting, by the way, right? So I went and did that whole meeting. I would think it's a good idea for many of you to do that, right? It would really, help you if you're not getting results in your online marketing, right? But so we want to make sure we publish these meetings, okay? So in order to do that, what I need you to do, anybody who is holding a meeting, or if you know your upline's holding a meeting, and make sure you get to him in case he's not seen this call yet, and you need to send an email to Danielle at Xplocial.com. My assistant, Danielle, 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 Danielle at Xplocial.com. Send Danielle an email. Tell her about meetings that you have coming up. Even if it's a one-time meeting, we'll see if we can do something about publishing it. But certainly if you're going to make something a weekly or monthly meeting, we want to get a list going. If you're brand new, let us know that too, okay? If we're not sure your name, we'll call you. We'll get somebody from our office to get in touch with you, talk to you a little more about it. But we certainly want to get that out there. Shayne, that makes sense, right, as we go?
Absolutely makes sense.
And now, Shayne, you in the last week, talking about some of this stuff, my God, you went off to Orlando. You came back from New York, I don't know about the rest of you on this call. I want Shayne's life, okay, lifestyle, right? He came back from where? Cozumel? Cancun. He came back from Cancun, left the next week to come spend 4 days in New York with us. And guys, I want you to know, this is really so much cooler now, because up until a couple of weeks ago in New York, we would have faces on a screen like this, and we'd all look and wave at each other, and we kind of know each other. But we've all now, everybody you're seeing here and more people, we got together and hugged and kissed and broke bread and went to different places and sightseeing together. Look at the pictures if you haven't seen them yet in last week's Hangout, right? We were a team. We were a team before this get together. My God, are we a team now? Okay, I mean, it's just amazing, right? And that's what we want for you to be a part of it. Well, Shayne left New York, and then the next weekend, he's off to Orlando, Florida. Shayne, tell everybody what you were doing, what you went to.
So I was at the MLM Mastermind in Orlando, Florida. There was over 1,500 people there, top leaders from all of the different companies in our profession, and it was extremely eye-opening for me. As most of you know, I come from an internet marketing background, and I came into this, and Larry early on started getting me in a different mindset shift, and it was, it really was just life-changing when I was at this this MLM conference, because I got to see some things that shook me up a little bit as to what I should be doing, but also shook me up about what we are doing here at Xplocial. Because I'm sitting there and I'm listening to people, and I talk to everybody, and this is it's a safe zone place, so you're not there to pitch your company, but I'm talking to a lot of people about their company, and they're asking me about mine, and I'm like, yeah, so how many people do you have in your group? Oh, 5,000, on my team. And I'm like, whoa, 5,000, you must be killing it. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing okay. They're not even seeing $2,000 a month, most of them, with 5,000 people on their team. Now, if you had 5,000 people on your team in Xplocial, let's just do the numbers. I don't even want to do the numbers. All I know is I would be a multi-millionaire, and I wouldn't have to worry about anything anymore, because the pass-up system and the duplication that would be happening would be incredible. So when I left there, and I'm talking to people about what's going on, they're like, really? I could have just over 100 people, and I could be a six-figure earner? Wow. And because it's not a place where you're trying to recruit people, I just said, that's what we do, and we kind of left it at that. and you exchange friendlies, and you go on and you talk to other people. And I talked to every single person I talked to that had any kind of team, they had built their team through network marketing, through home parties or events, or actually hand-to-hand shaking with almost all these people. And sure, some of them use social media to connect with people and then help them with starting their own home group or networking group. But all of these people had thousands and thousands of people on their team, and they weren't making hardly anything. And I just have to tell you how blown away I was by how they were able to get thousands of people on their team by doing, networking the way that they're doing it, rather than the internet marketing just driving traffic and seeing no duplication. Retention rates were so much higher with the people I was talking to, even with groups of 5,000 people. But their commissions were 5% or 10%. And we're sitting here looking at what we have, and I'm like, man, we are in the right place, especially at the right time with what's to come, to be able to set ourselves up for life. And it's not just about me. I'm an average Joe. And it's not about Chris. It's about everybody that's here. We can all do this, and all it takes is a little bit of action. You got to take action on what you're doing in order to be successful. You can't just sit back and wait for that lottery ticket, because that's not going to happen. But I'm telling you what, your best chance at success is right here, right where you're at right now.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. So you met some, I guess, is it fair to say, icons in the industry, Shayne?
I did. I was even starstruck a little bit. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. But they're so humble and so nice to talk to as well.
Sure. And so you were with guys like who? Randy Gage, who everybody should probably read his book, Big Al, Tom Schreider, right?
Yep.
They're real
Randy
guys,
Gage,
right?
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah, real guys that they're here to help you, help me, just like I'm here to help everybody else. And it really is a pay it forward atmosphere. And the one thing that they said that really stuck with me, this is cool. They're like, okay, if you go to a corporate event, or you go to, some kind of corporate board meeting or something like that, and the speaker stands up, does everyone start clapping and cheering and saying, yeah, way to go? No, it's like, okay, hey, Mr. Jones, how are you? At a network marketing event, or even at an Xplocial event or anything, there is so much energy and clapping and cheering and everything. The excitement around what we do is infectious, and that's why I love what I do. And I'll never be in corporate again. And if I do, I would be clapping at the next guy that stands up. But I don't see myself ever there again.
I hear you. Well, I'll bet that really was for you a first amazing experience. I mean, I've had the privilege of speaking in coliseums full of these kind of network marketers, 20,000 people in a coliseum. And I got to tell you, people think, wow, 20,000 people, that must be horrible. That's hard. That's nerve-wracking. I got to tell you, it's such a crowd, it's easy. The biggest thing is keeping the lights out of your eyes. On stage, the spotlights are just hot and blaring. But I want to tell you, 20,000 people, your adrenaline gets flowing. But here's the secret. It's just like Shayne said. You can get on that stage in front of 20,000 people, and they just expect you're going to say something good. You could sneeze, and they clap. It just isn't that hard, right? And of course, you got to earn your way to stage. And for some of you, there's a lot of people who are on this call, because I know who you are, because we've talked, and there's a lot of people on this call who one of your goals is to be able to step onto a big stage and speak and move people emotionally and logically, and teach them skill and teach them to move their lives. And it's a grandiose goal, and it's not something that happens overnight. But here's one thing I noticed. You can't wimp your way to the stage, okay? You can't wimp your way to the stage. You're going to have to be bold. You're going to have to step up and step out. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone, right? You're going to realize that who you are today has gotten you to where you are financially and in your chosen profession up until now. Who you are today has gotten you to where you are professionally. Here's some other not so great news. Who we hang around with up until today has gotten us to where we are financially. You hang around with broke people, chances are, Shayne, what are you going to be?
Broke.
You hang around and rub shoulders with people who are moving and grooving and stepping out, stepping up, going forward. Now you've got a shot at being just like them. Right? And so that's what we do when we come together at events. You can't get that on Facebook You can't get that on LinkedIn. You can't get that just in emails, okay? What everybody, all of us, me included, got at this little leadership event we did. And understand, for me, this is the smallest event I've been to in about 15, 18 years, okay? Our own little leadership event as we get started, right? I've spoken in crowds starting in my bathroom, I guess, one or two people, on up to, 20,000 plus all over the world. And yes, it's exciting, but can I tell you, I was never more excited than I was in that little meeting room we had with 30 of us. I don't think I've ever been more excited because of the potential, because we brought people together who for the first time were able to shake hands, to hug, to kiss, to meet, and to have a great time. And boy, if you look at some of the pictures, we had a great time, right into New York City for sightseeing and eating great New York Italian food at Carmine's. And Steph kids us because everything was New York. Right? We had New York pizza, New York Italian, New York Chinese. She was trying to figure out the difference, but I think we got it. But but these guys came in, didn't know what to expect, and man, we left as, I think, is it fair to say, guys, we left as different people?
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, just I know I did. I know I've never been in 32 years of actually talking to people about network marketing. I've never been more excited than where we are right now. And it's not because this is, my company, because it really doesn't matter. It just means I'm working harder for a while than some of you are, okay, than most of you are, right? Because what I love to do is get out and be with people. That's where I want to be to help build a business. That's why when Tom said, hey, can you go to this guy's house on Saturday, I think a lot of company owners would be like, well, let me find somebody, to go. Not me. I was saying, let's go. Let's test it out. Let's see what we're doing in presentations. Let's make it happen. Let me put my money or my mouth where my money is, okay? Here it is. I bring all these people into New York. I send Shayne off to a mastermind seminar in Orlando and say, let's learn a new way of doing business for you guys. It's only fair if I'm willing to take that too, right? Because it's easy to sit home behind a computer. Right? It's just not really effective. And it is for some of you. The duplication doesn't seem to happen as good as you'd like it to. So we're going to teach you how to fix that as we go, and it's going to be a lot easier with our new product. Let's talk to you about that for a couple of minutes, okay? Number one, if you are watching this today or on a replay and you are not a Platinum member, you should immediately upgrade to Platinum, because you're going to get a financial incentive as we move forward and offer this new product. So that's all I can tell you about it, but if you're not a Platinum, and you just can go on a little bit of faith, $100 worth of faith, right? Become Platinum. First of all, when you become Platinum, you're going to attract Platinums. Shayne, is it fair to say you've had people in your group who are Gold, people who are Platinum, and the people who are Platinum generally bring in Platinums?
Absolutely. That's definitely right.
It's the way it works, right? So if you want Platinums, if you're wondering why people don't seem to talk to you about Platinum, it might be because you're not a Platinum. It might be because they don't see you believing in earning those commissions. All right, so you want to get yourself upgraded to Platinum, and then take down this date, and you're going to see lots of reminders about it. It will be our announcement date for this for our whole new category, whole new product, and that will be Sunday, November 24th. All right, written in stone today, not quite yet, but probably, pretty sure. Okay, you'll get emails about it. Sunday, November 24th, in the evening, probably at 9 p.m. Hangout like this. We'll have some of the leaders who are involved in putting this program together and getting it off the ground, like Shayne and some of our other leaders, will be on the Google Hangout with us. We're going to have videos for you to see. We're going to have a little presentation for you to see, a whole explanation about this product, which will just come more and more. You'll see it as we go. Okay, and I will tell you this. All right, we are going to have a contest that's going to go on out as we announce this product, okay? And, we thought about it earlier. I was talking to some of our folks earlier, and we thought, well, we could just announce this contest to begin as of that Sunday, but that would mean I couldn't get you to go to work today at all, right? I couldn't give you that incentive, right? So here's what I want to tell you. We have people who have qualified for the cruise promotion that we had done, and we had some people that didn't qualify that really wanted to, right? Well, when we were in the leadership conference with all the leaders, we talked about this, and we were talking about a new incentive to offer people with our new product announcement, and all of our leaders so unselfishly as I learned characteristically they are. All of our leaders unselfishly said, you know what, we want to bring more people on the cruise with us, so no matter what else we do, and you'll see some other things too, no matter what else we do, why don't we just put that cruise off a few months, and let's create an incentive with our cruise right around our new product. And it really does fit really, really well, okay, to get on this cruise. So we are going to we'll tell you more about rules and all that stuff as we go, but I'm going to tell you that anybody you sponsor today, between now and then, is going to count. So as of this moment, nobody knows this. We didn't talk about it. Shayne didn't realize, and we didn't know until about an hour ago. We just thought, you know, I want you to understand, our goal is to have as many people come cruise with us as we can. I've had about 100 different people tell us so far, even if they don't qualify for the cruise, they're coming, because we're too fun a group not to be with for 4 or 5 nights, right? So we're going to have a ton of people on this cruise. We're going to be booking a lot of rooms, and I hope you let us pay for you. I really do want to pay for you. That's just the key. Bonnie and I want to send you an invite that says we've got your tickets paid for. Come on board, right? And we'll play Love Boat music from the old days or something, right? And we'll just get you in there. And so we want you to come with us. I'm not going to give you all the rules tonight, but I'm going to tell you this. Start sponsoring people tomorrow morning, because it starts tomorrow morning. Well, it's tonight. It starts tonight. Start sponsoring people. Anybody you sponsor, we're going to count. We'll give you specific rules on this as we move forward, but just understand that as we do that, it'll be retroactive to tonight, so nobody says, oh, I'm going to wait. I want to wait. Don't wait for anything. There's no waiting. Waiting kills momentum. You need momentum. You need it developing now. Chris, when you got started, did you just have momentum right away and keep moving?
I just kept building the momentum and just kept going with it. You don't stop. You don't slow down. You just keep going.
How many people, Chris, did you put in your business in the first month?
In the first month, I probably put in about 30 people, 30 to 40 actually.
And then what about after that?
After that, I probably put in another 30 or 40.
Yeah, that was just you, and then there was duplication going on, and people else coming in, right?
Actually, the guy that I got passed up, the guy that got passed up to me yesterday, that I said lives in Alabama, he's already got 2 people signed up already. So
you put him in yesterday. He's got 2 people signed up already.
I put him in. He actually was passed up to me from somebody else in my team who is duplicating. So he got passed into my pay line, and then now he's already signed up 2 people.
Shayne, what's this make you think? Think we're on to something here?
Absolutely. I mean, come on. He found someone, and that someone happened to be a gold nugget that found somebody that was another gold nugget that found somebody. I mean, what kind of system do brings you this except for what we have here?
I'm telling you, it's going to get, I don't know. I know it's the wrong words, but it's going to get gooder and gooder. Okay, it's just, that's just my new expression, right? So Sunday, November 24th, the announcement. Start sponsoring tonight, because you're going to get credit for it in a brand new contest. If you don't have one of these, okay, if you don't have a passport, here's what I'm going to tell you. If you don't have it, and you were with us during the first part of our cruise contest, well, you weren't serious, were you? You weren't committed, because you would have needed to have a passport to go on this cruise with us, right? If you didn't get one during the cruise incentive, it meant you never intended to come on the cruise. Isn't that an interesting thought, right? So I'm telling you today, you got no idea what's coming. I don't know, some of the leaders might have leaked, I don't know, but I hope not. But make sure you're going out tomorrow and getting a passport. You get a passport, it's your commitment that says, I'm getting on this cruise. I'm getting on it one way or the other, but I'm going to get Larry to pay for it, okay? And we're ready to do that for you, all right? And it's going to be a time. It will be, like Shayne had this weekend, another life-changing experience, okay, for those of you who come. Those of you who are with us, whether we pay for you or not, but you'll feel better if we pay for you. Those of you who are with us are going to walk away, are going to get on airplanes and cars to go home, and you're going to think, my life has been changed for the positive, for the better, forever, for being there. And you will be equipped to be prosperous and to move your life ahead. First step, commit, make sure you got a passport, okay? Bonnie just got, this is Bonnie, she just got a brand new one because she realized that hers was expired when all of a sudden. And in fact, we're heading on, we'll tell you about a cruise we're going to do, just the 2 of us, and we'll shoot some video for you and get some good footage back. We're going to do some events from the cruise. just wait till Sunday the 24th. You're just going to be crazed. Let me see if we covered everything. Upgrade to Platinum. Talked about the contest. Start sponsoring today to qualify to get on the cruise. Don't wait. Don't wait. We'll give you all the rules, but don't wait. Got to get some people in. And Sunday, November 24th, you should start putting that in your emails now. You should start spreading the news right now to everybody around you. If you've got a group, start spreading the news so that the momentum builds, right? Everybody here is going to make sure if they've got any meetings or their upline has any meetings that they're scheduled, live meetings, Danielle at Xplocial.com, Danielle, Danielle at Xplocial.com. Let her know they're going on. We'll see if we get them published in the company newsletter. And so, Shayne, your biggest takeaway from that weekend in Orlando was what?
Biggest takeaway, I don't know, but a lot of it is just by creating a culture around what we're doing and knowing that we're in the right place by building it. I hate to say offline because we still can use some online instances, but building it together in a networking fashion rather than just all this online traffic driving situations that aren't duplicating. The duplication is when you go out and you shake somebody's hand or you get to know somebody, you know who they are, you get to get face-to-face with people like we did at this leadership conference 2 weeks ago, and that's where businesses are built and sustainable incomes are built.
No question, no question. And Chris, let me ask you, I mean, what's your biggest takeaway from the leadership weekend? We haven't gotten to ask you.
Just like I said, using the basic stuff that you have in the back office, the memory jogger to have a list to work off of, the scripts to get people to the video, and then, just basically, following up immediately afterwards, and getting them into action, getting them excited. While they're excited, the day they join is the day when they're the most excited and passionate about it. Get them in their back office, have them make their list and start getting people to that list right away, and it'll duplicate so much better. Also got, that just building relationships, just building good old-fashioned relationships is the best way to go.
And all of this coming from two guys who built their initial business with us really as online marketers.
Completely online. I did it completely online before.
So that's kind of interesting. And the other thing is, well, does duplication work? Well, I think what you'll find is that you've got Shayne, Chris, and a whole lot of other people who are at the leadership conference are basically duplicating what I do and teach right now, right? So I guess duplication works, right? That this can duplicate. I had somebody say to me today on the phone, they said to me, Larry, I've done offline business, building. It doesn't work. I go, really? And he said, yeah. I said, how do we know that? He said, because I've done it in 3 companies. I haven't made any money. Now, of course, I had to think and say in a gentle way, what's been the common denominator in all 3 companies? And the guy thought for a minute, and he looked up, and we were on a Hangout, a Skype call, and he says, I guess it was me. That was the common denominator. I was the guy in all 3 companies. I said, well, what does that mean? Many of you know I just like to ask questions, right? What does that mean? He says, well, maybe it means I didn't get it right. I said, listen, it's kind of simple. In this business, I think we need to do the right things, and we need to do enough. We need to do enough of the right things. Some people do enough work. Some people even do some right things. But you got to put that together and do enough of all the right things. There's not that many you got to learn. You got to learn 6 or 7 things, 6 or 7 skills. And they're not that hard. Because I got to tell you, when you look at Shayne and Chris, you go, well, they're sharp guys. They can do this, right? I will tell you that in 32 years, I've seen some men and women who couldn't put 2 sentences together, who couldn't walk straight, couldn't get out of their own way, in some cases disabled, blind, deaf, crippled. I've seen people from every faith, from every ethnic background, walk up on a stage and mesmerize an audience. Okay? People who couldn't even speak the year before. Were so afraid to talk to anybody more than one person at a time. I don't know if your goal is like Shayne and a lot of our other guys to be able to speak around the world and to be that person that can move others. I hope it is for some of you. Some of you are going to be really good at it. But if it is, you can find your voice. You can find your message right here at Xplocial, and you won't believe how close at hand it is as we introduce you to this new product. Let me tell you a quick story about this little napkin holder that I was showing you. And I think it's important because sometimes we get so caught up in our everyday lives. For us, that's very busy. For a busy network marketer, you're juggling a whole lot of business cards and contacts and presentations and follow-ups, you know. And somehow guys like Shayne make it all look easy. He does it from Russia. He does it from, you know, the Bahamas. He makes it all look easy, but he does everything he's got to do. I was never like that. I was always in a frenzy, you know. And sometimes you just want to stop, and sometimes you just want to recognize maybe just some age-old truths, you know. Bonnie and I, a couple of weeks ago, I guess it's 3 weeks ago now, we're just out one night, and we wanted to stop somewhere for dinner, and there was this buffet restaurant that we kind of liked. Now, don't look at me and think I was picking the buffet. It was Bonnie, the exercise instructor, who was picking the buffet because she loves the chocolate cake there. And, of course, nobody will ever tell her I said this, okay? And we went to this buffet, and it was prime time. The line was long. It was just long, right? We didn't have anywhere we had to be except back home to do more work for our new program, so I said, well, we'll stay. Right behind us came this so cute, so wonderful-looking older couple. They were in their 80s, you know, their early 80s. He walked with a cane. She was a short little woman. They were just, you could see just looking at them that they were the sweetest people, the salt of the earth. You started picturing in your mind, he worked his whole life supporting his family, doing some kind of job forever, you know, for 50 years, and she was just a mother at home. You already knew all this just by looking at him, right? At least that was what I thought. And so Bonnie opened the door for them so they could get in, and they walked in, and we just naturally started talking, and they love talking. They just love to talk. She started talking to Bonnie, and before I knew it, I looked over, they were like personally involved, right? And I was asking this guy about his life. He was retired many years, working for the local lighting company, electric company. They were just the most pleasant, nicest people. So we're just talking and getting to know each other as this line moves, you know, this little cattle line, and we get to the front. We were right in front of them, and we get to the front, and I guess here's the thing, you know, many of you have heard the term random acts of kindness. Have you guys heard that term? Random acts of kindness. And I was involved in a charity that chaired a charity that helped put this stuff together all across the country. The whole idea of just getting good people to do random acts of kindness. You know, I always kind of try to follow that biblical saying that says, "To whom much is given, much is required." And certainly Bonnie and I have been blessed way more than a couple of dinners, you know, in our lives for the things we've done. So when I naturally got up to the counter and I had my credit card in my hand and I handed it to the little girl behind the counter, Bonnie is still talking to this couple right behind us, and I said, go ahead and take care of my grandparents here too, you know. And ladies and gentlemen, this was $29. Was $29 is what it cost, okay? And I know some of you are tight to pay your monthly membership for $29, okay? I get it. But in the scope of life, this was $29. And I actually felt like it was such an honor to actually meet these people and who they were in their life for so many years, and just to be able to pay for their dinner. You know, we spent, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes online with them talking. Just met them. And, you know, they watched me do that, and they're like, oh, no, you can't do that. No. And I said, no, please let me. And we just got away. And the funny thing was, Bonnie really had some things we wanted to talk about that night, and we knew it would be kind of a lot of work to sit for an hour and talk with them. That really wasn't our goal, okay? We were just trying to meet some new people and be really nice. So they went off to sit on their own, and we sat down, and I guess it was about an hour later, she wandered, she walked over, and she pushed her address and phone number in front of us and said, oh, please call us, come over for coffee, we'd love to get to know you better. And she said, could you come back and say goodbye? We were getting ready to leave, you know, to her husband. And so we went over to their table, and he asked for our address and our information. And it was just like meeting a new friend, but quite a bit older, right? And it was just this really good feeling. He couldn't stop thanking me. He's got his hand out. He's holding my hand. Ladies and gentlemen, it was $29, okay? what we did with $29 that night, forget how it made them feel for a second. I can tell you that Bonnie and I, for $29, got a feeling that we could never replace. We could never get any other way, right? It was the most amazing feeling. This guy wouldn't let go of my hand. We walked out together. We actually walked them to their car on the other side of the parking lot because I was making sure they were okay, you know. And they got in their car, and he drove, and they drove away. Today, I get a box in the, you know, from UPS, and I don't know what's in it. I open it, and I take out this. I mean, it's beautiful. It's rustic. It's a handmade napkin holder. Is really what it is. Handmade, hand painted, right? And I have this note, and I didn't know who this was from until I read the note. And the note said, "Dear Bonnie and Larry, thank you so much for your kindness. We'll never forget it. Enclosed is a napkin holder that I make myself. I designed and made myself out of 2x4s. We just can't forget you. We think about you all the time. Sincerely, Ciro and Florence. God bless both of you." $29. I don't know what some of you are thinking about what you can do with money if you ever earn some. Some of you might stop thinking about if you ever earn some and might just go out and do it, like Chris, like Shayne, like all the other people earning money. And if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for a silly napkin holder. Do it so you can buy some deserving people a lousy $29 dinner and reap the eternal rewards, both in gratitude and whatever else you believe in, from other people. Because I can't think of a better gift that Bonnie and I have ever gotten, and we've gotten gifts from network marketing groups and people all over the world, places I've spoke all these years. I got some pretty neat plaques. I got some pretty neat gifts, and they were expensive. This probably cost, you know, $5 to put together, and it's the best thing we ever got in our lives for $29. And I thought it was so cool that dinner was $29, the price of our gold membership that some people bitch about, that some people say I can't pay for. Right? That $29 gold membership that you have right now can change lives. It can change your life. It can change the lives of the people that you touch and you meet. It can change the lives of just some old couple who just needs somebody to say, "Hey, I love you. It's okay. I know it's a tough night." Right? This is all up to you. Shayne can't do it for you. Chris can't do it for you. I can't do it for you. Your upline can't do it for you. You've got to make the decision that says, I want to change lives. I want to change lives because I can be a good person that doesn't worry about $29. I can change lives because I can give to my favorite charity, church, synagogue, temple. I want to change lives because I'm going to have money in my hands that I don't have to worry about that next bill with, that I can actually book a cruise with my family and not worry about it like Bonnie and I did for Thanksgiving week. All right? I'd love to have all of you coming with us. All right? I actually contemplated telling everybody where and when we were going, but then I was afraid of who would show up. Right? So, Shayne, I mean, it'd be real cool if we got some good people coming, right? But imagine people showing up saying, "I wanted to come so I could tell you what was wrong with Xplocial," right? I mean, wow. Because we got some people like that. Every company has that, right? But no, you need, and you know you need. You know how I know you know? You know because you're here and you're a member, and you're watching this either tonight or on the replay. So I know that there is some level of need in you. There's some level of, there's more that I want, more time, more money, more freedom, more time to be with my family, more money to take care of the ones I love, more freedom to do what I want, when I want, with the people I want to do. That's the kind of freedom you deserve if you're willing to work for it. And I was so thankful that night a few weeks ago, and even more so today when that napkin holder showed up. I was so thankful that 32 years ago, somebody invited me to sit down at their kitchen table when I was 23 years old. It's almost 33 years ago, I guess now, to sit down at their table and spend an hour and a half showing me a presentation, and I went and borrowed the money that I didn't have from my mom so that I could join. I'm also thankful that The next thing I told my mom was, it's going to cost you another $200 because you and Dad are going to join. All right? And I got my father to join, and it became the best thing that ever happened to the two of us together as a family group, as a family unit. And my brother got involved, and my sister and her new husband got involved at the time. It was the best thing to happen in our lives. 33 years ago, that silly decision put me on a path to be in a place where, thank God, I wasn't the one worried about $29. And I didn't have to sit and think, can I do that? Can I pay $29 for someone else's dinner? And I know that there's many of you watching this that are thinking, you don't understand my life. I can't. I could never do that. And I get it. And there was a time I couldn't do it. I remember my first married Christmas. And Christmas Eve, while our families were off at some other events, we didn't have anything to do. And we were at the local pizza place sharing 2 slices and a Diet Coke, because that's all we had money for on Christmas Eve. Don't tell me you can't do it. Don't tell me you can't change your life. Tell me you don't want to. Tell me you don't want it bad enough. That's okay. But don't tell me you can't, because you can. And we will give you every tool, every piece of training, every piece of a good environment through this company and through leaders like Chris and Shayne and more to help you to do that. That's my message for you tonight, is that you can do it if you want to do it. You should be buying people dinner every week, because I do it quite often. You should be doing it too. You should be spreading the good wealth that you're earning so that more gets attracted back to you all the time. To whom much is given, much is required. You've been given an opportunity. You've been given a hand up, not a hand out. You've been given people. You've had people put in your life, from all of us at the company on down to people like Shayne and Chris and others. You've had people put in your life that are there to help you grow and achieve and become more than maybe you've ever become. I hope today you start to take that seriously. And I hope no matter what, you don't miss Sunday, November 24th, 9 p.m. You'll get emails about it, and you start hearing about a whole new wave of how you can make even more money than ever before with Xplocial. Chris, any closing thoughts?
No, I think you pretty much summed it up, Larry.
What about you, Shayne?
After that story, I really don't have too much to say, because I get emotional just like you do, and that's why I'm in this. That's why I do what I do, and I love giving back, and it's just great to be able to surround myself with people like you, like Chris, and the people that we've met so far.
Absolutely. And you know what? Carry it through. When you think about the things we're talking about tonight, you carry it through. We have got, on the shipping label was this couple. Where'd it go? I lost the note. This couple, Ciro and Florence, on the shipping label, UPS was their phone number. Bonnie's already called them and thanked them so much for the thought. I mean, just the thought of this thing, right? I mean, the handmade thing that this guy sat home and did, special for us. And you know what? We're suckers for it all. We're going over for coffee. I don't have any time, but we're going over for coffee that they so invited us to have, and making new friends. They all, they have one son, and I don't think he's in the area, and they don't see him much, and and I know when I was sitting talking to him, I was thinking about my dad, who passed away, just about 8 years ago. We were so close, and this guy kind of a lot of mannerisms like him, and I don't know. I'm blown away by this. I hope some of you get it. I hope some of you get the story. This came in an hour before we started, and I thought, what better way to talk about what we need to do as people with our businesses than to tell that story. And I hope some of you got it. And I hope some of you want to be that person. I hope some of you want to be the guy or the gal, the man or the woman that can make a difference in other people's lives by helping them build their future, or by doing enough with your life so you can just help make their life a little easier. Shayne, Chris, thanks so much for being with us tonight, for helping them out here and telling your stories and your experiences. And congratulations for both of you on your growth, your continued success, and for all this new stuff that we're doing. And of course, I know just like me, you can't wait to tell everybody on November 24th what's going on. I know you're busting at the seams, and just like and so am I. All right, so that's it. November 24th. Be with us. Start sponsoring tonight. We're going to put you on a cruise with us. We're going to get you. If you've never been on a cruise, my God, it's going to be an amazing time for you. If you have, you're going to find out that it's never better than when you're with, I don't know, 100 or more of your closest friends, okay, all going in the same direction. We love you. Everybody take charge of your weekend. Take charge of what's coming up, and we'll talk to you later.